Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Let's Play Car Mechanic Simulator 21. We've just done a story mission, and we're going to do another one, but let me check. We do have 33,000 credits at the moment. There's the stand, the engine stand. Could be interesting. Body repair. We'll see what we need, because sometimes we need a lot of money. But now we can also repair, you know, body parts. So there you go. Atom. Well, it's probably an electric car, like the first Tesla, I think. Fix body parts. Okay, all this stuff we've already seen. Let's take this. Good morning. We need an expert opinion. I don't know what happened. I was planning a family vacation for next week. I started the car yesterday and I was trying to turn on the lights and there was nothing. I thought that maybe the lights were fried, but as it turned out, that wasn't the problem. Soon after, my car wasn't reacting to the key at all. I don't know what happened. Please check what's the problem. It would be good if the car was fit for a longer trip, and if it were more reliable. At least they marketed it as such. I'm almost sure that all these indicator lights were lighting up properly, because they're supposed to light up, right? Alright, so, take order. That's gonna be interesting. So, electrical problems. So this looks a bit like a Fiat Punto with the shape, but also a bit, the front looks like a Skoda, but it's not. The rear looks like an Opel Astra a little bit, I suppose. It also looks like a bit like those Korean cars. I'm not sure really about this one. All right, let's put it on stand and first do some diagnostics. All right. Right, so it's a family. Okay. Oh, it's in pretty good condition, looks like. Alright, let's do this first, of course, because we want the XP. Come on, faster, faster! Yeah, that's all in pretty good condition. So, considering that we're repairing a car that seems to be a bit unreliable, I want everyone's stories. I want everyone that's watching this right now, write it down in the comments below. I'm wondering, because I like reading about this stuff. What was your experience with the most unreliable car you've ever had? It doesn't matter if it was reliable and, you know, that was the least reliable car of all the ones you've had, but what was the worst experience of the most unreliable car you've ever had? Doesn't matter if it was perhaps even a rental or something, but you know, what was the worst experience? I want to hear it, because sometimes you get these really quite interesting stories about what people had to do in order to get places. Personally, I don't know. I've never been left stranded on the road. I've only ever had Fords as my own, that is. And yeah, they were, I have to say, super reliable. Can't remember. Was there anything? I mean, there weren't any major problems. Like, I think I've said that in one of the previous car mechanic simulators, but the only time that was an actual issue, let's see, was one time on the road when, but maybe that was our problem. Oh yeah, engine needs to be complete. What the hell happened? The bottom protective cover sort of, I think one of the bolts sheared or something, and it started flapping on the highway. You know, not a huge deal. It just had to be bolted right back up. But you know, we weren't home. We were in like in Germany or something, or France. I think it was Germany actually. But you know, not a big deal. Big deal. Yeah, alternators are done. And the other thing that went wrong was on the previous car, on the old one. It was a funny story. They actually put, can't do that. They actually put the wrong fuel, the wrong oil filter in at the authorized dealership, the service, and they put the wrong oil filter in. It was too small for the engine, apparently. The flow was too low. And we obviously didn't know that. And we were driving, and apparently, I don't know exactly how that happened. But I don't think... Did the oil light come on, or did it not? I can't remember what it was. I don't think the oil light came on, because there was plenty of oil in the actual sump. It just wasn't going through the engine enough. I think that was the problem. That oil filter needs to go, and then that thing. Basically, what it resulted in was fuel, oil starvation. I think especially in one of the cylinders, or was it all of the cylinders? And what that meant was that the scoring of the cylinders, and we took it back, they admitted the fault, and then what happened was they obviously had to make us whole. They obviously had to repair the thing at their own cost. So I believe what they did was they pulled the engine, and they actually bored out the cylinders. So they rebored them, and in the end it was a win-win, because one, the car was very reliable still, and it wasn't the car's fault that it was starved of oil. It was the service. And as a bonus, on the other hand, I got a few more horsepower out of it, because essentially it was a slightly bigger engine as a result. Let's see. There you go. I mean, that's just speculation. I don't know if they actually reprogrammed the ECU as a result, because, I mean, surely they had to, right? Because, let's just take that. Surely they had to, because, it was a different compression ratio then, and I don't know. Spark plugs are bad. It's a 3-cylinder, this. So that was quite an interesting thing that happened to me. I guess we'll have to take this block, the new block as well. How is this a reliable car? This engine is just kaput. I think we'll be able to repair some of this. I didn't add everything to the shopping list. Let's see. These... No, that piston is not okay. We'll have to remove that as well. And before I take the oil filter out, I'll drain the oil. So yeah. Oh yeah, wait a second. Oh yeah, I didn't buy the crane, but that's okay for now. We'll do that some other time, I guess. So take the oil out. So yeah, what's your story? It doesn't have to be, like I said, doesn't have to be the car's fault for the oh, come on. Seriously? That's accessible from the engine bay, but that's right down here. Also, what the hell kind of a thing is that? Look at that. It just juts out like that. It's weird. I wonder if there's something wrong with the fuel as well. I have to do it like this to be able to access that. No, that looks okay. Okay, so take that off. There. And now we can take the rest of the oil pan. That's, yeah. Water pump. Everything else seems to be okay. Right, lift the car. Yeah, I would love to hear your stories, because I have quite a lot of fun reading people's experiences with cars and such. It's quite interesting. Also, you could say, what was your first car? There's this piston that's just done. There. Yeah, what was your first car? My first car was the old Ford Mondeo. 1996, I believe it was. Oh yeah, I should have taken that off as well. So that piston is done. So let's see, did we find everything? No. There's still a lot of stuff. Just gonna put this on there because, you know, how it is. More parts that we haven't discovered. We also have to change all the other... No. Change all the other stuff, like the coolant and the steering fluid, power steering fluid, and so on. Bloop. There we go. The battery could be done, but no, it doesn't. No, it looks like it's okay. I've taken all the fluids out now, alright? So the oil filter needs to go. That's one of the parts that we haven't discovered yet, quote unquote. All of this other stuff looks okay. Maybe something in the gearbox, but ECU is okay. We need to change the stuff in here. The fuses. Was that a fuse box base? Okay, I think it was another one of these. And that fuse. Alright. The radiator looks okay. So does the... Oh, it doesn't have an intercooler. It's not even a turbo car. Okay. It's one of those really crappy eco boxes. Let's check the air filter. I hate the fact that you have to do all the clips one by one. Yeah, that needs to go. That's probably one of the parts we haven't discovered. But there's still stuff. There's still parts that we haven't discovered. It's quite annoying. But that's okay. So I guess I should just take the pistons out. All of them, because it might be that... No. Because it might be that the rings might be done. We'll see. Alright. Because all that stuff looks good. But we don't know about the rings. Oh yeah, why am I taking the crankshaft caps off? I don't need to do that. 3-cylinder engines, man. That's just... No. The bane of vehicles. Don't do it. I mean, they're fine, but 3 cylinders, you know, not enough power ever. And they always feel to me like they're gonna stall when I pull away, especially in a manual car. If they do have enough power... Oh, the thermostat is probably done as well. No? No, it's not. If they do have enough power, they're turbocharged and extremely fuel inefficient. They're very hungry. Maybe these things? Rubber bushings? No. They don't look bad. Let's take the oil filter off. What else could be wrong here? Part not discovered. So it doesn't start. The starter is fine. Let's repair what we can. Exhaust manifold, don't need that. Well, we can't repair anything that's actually useful here to repair. What else is there? Oh yeah, I said I would be taking the pistons out. We've taken all the cam stuff off. Water pump is an unknown, but it doesn't look rusty, so I don't think that's the problem. I could take the gearbox off, but I mean, he has problems with starting the car, not with driving the car. Well, let's see. Let's take the pistons out. No, that's fine. And that's fine as well. The fuel filter seems to be completely fine, despite the fact that it's an unknown. Yes, it is. Okay. The engine block is going to be okay. Servo, I mean ABS, looks fine. What the heck is it then? Once again, I'm sort of stumped. Let me go back here and take the fuel pump out, but the fuel pump is fine. Yeah, we would see the rust if it wasn't. I could put the 10% fuel pump in. Maybe the guy would be happy with that. I guess I'll... What else could be wrong here? There's not much else to this engine. I mean, the radiator looks great, so that's not going to be it. I could take the gearbox off, but I guess it's going to be the clutch or something. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. But why? I mean, the car would start just fine without that. So I've taken off the stuff that I forgot last time. For example, the oil filter. And we've also taken off the fuel filter and such, so that's all good. But what the heck is wrong here? Take that front drive axle off. I see a little rust here. Oh, come on. Really? It's gonna be the brake pads? How is that related to starting the engine? Okay, well, at least they didn't take too much of the engine apart. That's good. It's just the brake pads then. Might be brake pads at the back as well. Let's see. Yeah, they are. Okay. Well, that's easy then. All that off. Brake calipers. The problem is that it all looks so great, but then, you know... Well, it makes sense that the pads themselves would be in poor condition. Because that is the things that you need to replace every now and then, of course. Well, also the calipers sometimes, but yeah, brake pads usually. Let's see. There you go. And I forgot to add them. And now, this should actually be all of it. Yep. Okay, so let's start buying things. So the oil filter for a 3-cylinder. Camshaft. Spark plugs. Oh yeah. Medium fuse relay air filter type A. And brake pads times 4. And go to the electronic shop. There's one more thing. There's, or maybe even a couple of things that I forgot to put on the list. We'll get to them, no problem. I might even still have some, that's 2 of them. I might still have some spark plugs left from somewhere, but oh well, fine. Okay, there we go. That's that. Alright, escape, not, and then F to get out of that. Jeez. Alright, let's replace the pads first. So we get rid of that problem. There we go, and put the tire back on. We could put some giant tires on this. That makes me think though, when you buy a junkyard car and then you want to put different tires on it, can you put just any sort of tires on it? I mean, how do you know what kind of tires will actually fit on the car? I mean, obviously on a car like this one, you couldn't just fit, I don't know, 300s. They just wouldn't fit. So, what happens? Do you actually get any information about what tires are available for the car? Or do you just go blindly buy something that looks crazy and probably won't fit and then actually won't fit? So you just waste the money? I don't know. Don't like the sound of that. There, put that all back on. Lovely. Let's put the other drive axle in. And the pad. Nice. I do have to say that the UI sounds are very satisfying in a way. Click, click, click. It sounds good and it feels good. Alright, now for the engine. Alternator, I think I forgot. No, I didn't forget to buy. There was something I forgot to buy, I know that. Oh yeah, we'll have to put the oil pan back in before we can actually do that. It's so ridiculous. Let's put the oil, air filter. And the cover, and then all 4 clips. Before we forget, and, you know. And the game tells us, oh, car can't start! The clips are missing! Well, it doesn't say that, but it says that the car is incomplete. Alright. Put the fuel filter in. Put the pistons in. Have I bought the pistons? I don't think I have. Oh, I don't think that one will be happy, though. Let's see. Piston with Conrad. Yeah, exactly. See, despite the fact that this is in pretty much pristine condition, it's not happy because this one needs to be a new one. It's... I don't know. It's so ridiculous. Let's go here. And go here to main shop and piston with Conrad and then some rings as well. I'm assuming it needs the normal one. Okay, so now we can add it. And now, when we added that 100%, the game is going to be happy about it. There you go. It's so ridiculous. Boop, boop. And brake pads, don't need that. Alright. So that. 1% engine head. That's lovely. Unfortunately, you can't repair that one. 950. Yeah, nice and shiny new. I don't know, 3-cylinder engines, I mean, you know, you've got all the complexity of a 4-cylinder engine, but none of the sort of smoothness. I mean, I know 4-cylinder engines aren't supposed to be completely smooth either. I believe they are not quite balanced naturally. Well, I mean, 2 cylinders go... I mean, 2 pistons go up, 2 pistons go down. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, you've got all the complexity and everything, but none of the power or the torque or smoothness of a 4-cylinder. So, I don't know. I mean, it's really just a marketing gimmick as far as I can see. It saves the manufacturers money because they have to make they can make a smaller engine with fewer parts and everything. And it saves them money, but it doesn't actually save you money because in the long run, you're buying a crappy engine with a high fuel consumption and probably less reliability because it's smaller, turbocharged, most likely. I don't think they really do any more 3 cylinders without turbochargers. I mean, that would be horrible. You know, and that thing has to work really hard to do anything. So I don't know, I just don't see the point in it. But some people still buy them. And there's more and more cars with 3-cylinder engines, and I hate it. Because like I said, I've driven them. They can be fun. The sound, I don't much care for. Some people really like it because, of course, it's like a baby V6. Or a baby inline 6 in a way. It does have a little bit of that growl at some RPMs. But it doesn't really do it for me. And, yeah, cam gear. But, you know, I just don't like driving them. It always feels like they're gonna die on you when taking off. And, I don't know. Like I said, it's just doesn't feel too good. It always feels like you have something underpowered that's struggling to do what you're asking it to do. I suppose that's the best way I can put it. And yeah, it doesn't feel good. Yeah, we'll have to put the frickin' oil pan on before we can put the tensioner on and then the belt. What a silly design. I'm assuming this is done after a real engine, so that's a really silly design. 100%. So yeah. Don't like 3-cylinder engines. I'm sure there will be people that will say, oh, I bought a car with a 3-cylinder engine 10 years ago and it's still running good and it's good in economy. Yeah. I can concede, with that, but tell me, how much of a better fuel economy would you have if you actually bought a larger displacement 4-cylinder engine? And it would be smoother, it would be nicer. And, I bet you it would have better fuel economy. Unless you went for something crazy like 300 horsepower. But in most cases, from my experience, if I drove nicely and economically, the larger 4-cylinder engines were much more fuel efficient than these tiny 3-cylinder ones. The 3-cylinder ones were a little bit more fuel efficient in very specific cases. For example, when driving at very constant lower speed, like 50 kilometers per hour, without much stopping, without much accelerating at all. Wait, this is accessible from the engine bay, but I wasn't there. Oh, freaking hell. So, yeah, again, reiterating my not a fan ofness of 3-cylinder engines. I just really kind of dislike them. And I still think they're simply a ploy by manufacturers to sell slightly cheaper cars that are much cheaper for them to make, yet, they have a much bigger profit. And this, at the same time, they can say, oh, look at us, we're doing so much for the environment. Making smaller engines with much lower fuel consumption. And of course, that fuel consumption test is like, I don't know, the car falling off a cliff with the engine off. Yes, you see, it uses 0 fuel. Oh. What? Oh, so it was actually... Oh, that's what happened. I see now. That's the story. The belt tensioner, I guess, just actually snapped off, and then it screwed up everything because water pump. How is the? I forgot. How was the timing actually? How did it work? Was it via the crankshaft? I don't know. So anyway, it probably just destroyed this, bent the valves and damaged the pistons. It's quite interesting. Okay, I thought I bought it. There. There we go. Lovely. Alright, so yeah. Definitely not a fan of 3-cylinder engines. Alright, I think we are done apart from all the fluids. So we can do that now. But where's the engine head? What the heck is going on? Ah, forgot 2 caps over here. It's like, we're done! Don't need the engine head. Yeah, don't need it at all. Don't worry about it. There's a head cover. Alright. Only 4 bolts, huh? There. Alright, so now we can add that. I'm sure there's a part I've forgotten somewhere. Did we add the oil pan yet? Yes, we did. Okay. Just checking before I make a huge mess on the floor. Okay. Power steering. No, I didn't want to remove the entire thing. I wanted to add the fluid. There. Lovely. Lovely. Coolant. And this car will be ready to go. Oh, just a... windscreen fluid and the brake fluid. That's a lot of fluids we need to add. Well, that's how it is with cars. They're thirsty. They're thirsty little buggers. Alright. Come on. There we go. And now we are actually done. It's gonna say it's missing clip this or clip that, but there you go. Alright. Finish order. Nice, 5,500. Alright, well, thank you so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments below. Like I said, write your stories, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.